decided it's time for her to finally retire and leave. For noticing, I've forgotten that point to address that. Yes, she will be. Just over time, I know you guys have some classes to get to. Anyone who would, I know you guys, I know Naomi, Helena, you guys got to run. Feel free to log out.
Okay.
Thank you, and I'll talk with you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Miss Fountain, how are you? Hold on, let's get the audio. No audio? Okay, unmute your, let's see. Okay. Okay, all right, fantastic. I'm gonna pull up our stuff for tonight, just a second.
I remember those. I eat those.
Okay, we're probably gonna be looking at packets number 7 and 8 tonight. Okay, just a second, I'm pulling everything up.
Okay.
Oh, how have you been? Because I've got some of your assignments.
I've been okay. Trying to do my work, trying to stick in there, hang in there.
Trust me, I know it's tough. I know it's tough.
Right. And also trying to, do this school with my kids. So it's just, it's a lot.
I know I teach also. I teach at Highlands Middle School, and I'm telling you, it's yesterday was our first online day, all day with some of the kids and parents, and just trying to direct them through the technology was just kind of rough.
Yes.
So just bear with me here. I'm going to be getting into our class.
Oh, not a problem.
Okay, when I start pulling up information, let me know if you can see the screens when I start pulling stuff up.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let's go into our classroom. You're welcome to come in any class time that I have, because generally I'm on Saturdays and on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I can send you a link for both.
Yes, please send me a link for both because I need to catch up.
Okay. All right, we're ready to go in now. Okay, going into the classroom. I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing the screen with you. Okay.
Okay.
You see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. The first thing I'm looking at is going into the classroom and just some of the assignments. Okay. And what I'm going to do is filter through assignments that you've actually taken so far, and just kind of go over where you're at right now, and then we'll go into practice 7 and practice 8.
Okay.
And what this is designed to do with some of these science practice questions is basically get you ready for the GED. This is your study guide, your study portfolio or packet. So you can go back in here and look at these tests in real time. So, all right, I'm going to start from life sciences. I'm going to start from life sciences. Okay.
Okay.
And we're going to go with quiz 1. What I'm doing is checking to see which ones you were able to do. And this is quiz 1 from life sciences. This was on cell structures and functions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here. Okay, you were able to do that one. Well, not a great score, but don't get discouraged. Okay.
Right. Hey, I had started getting discouraged at one time, like, oh my gosh, am I ever gonna pass the quiz?
No, don't get discouraged. What you just have to try to read a little more thoroughly. And I know this one was kind of a tough one.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So quite a few people had a tough time of it. Okay. But my suggestion would be to highlight and kind of annotate and mark facts. So you can go back and when you highlight, annotate, mark facts, say for example, in the first sentence here, it says all living things are made up of cells, the basic unit of life. Some organisms like bacteria and protozoa are unicellular. They consist of a single cell. Well, that right there you can highlight because that's a fact. So, and when you get ready to take the quizzes, stuff that you've highlighted, try to go back because those highlighted facts would be like a reminder. It'll be like a little reminder. It'll jog your memory. Okay.
Right.
Just go through that, highlight and annotate little facts. Keep doing that, and when you go back to actually look at the question again, because on this first question, let me go. Now I know that looks kind of crazy because there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Mm-hmm.
The first question, in addition to the cell wall, the water stored in the plant cells, vacuoles, helps give the plant firmness and shape. Now think about this, when you water a plant, when you water your plant and it gets sunlight, it grows, okay?
Right.
When a plant is not taking in enough water from the soil through its roots, definitely you're gonna find that plant kind of fell over if you don't water your plants. So think of it from that standpoint. Okay, it uses up its stored water and its vacuoles shrink. So if a plant's not getting water, it's gonna wilt away. When the vacuoles shrink, the plant wilts. Which of the following is a conclusion based on the paragraph above rather than a given fact? Okay, we can draw a conclusion that if I water this plant, it's gonna grow and it's gonna have rigidity, it's gonna be stiff. If I don't water this plant, it's gonna fall over.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can begin to look at this question. Cell walls give a plant cell firmness and shape. Well, we can say, yeah, it kinda, but it still needs a little water to help it with its rigidity. And we just go through the process. Vacuoles help give a plant cell firmness and shape. Okay, let's take a look. Let's go back up here. What gives a plant firmness and shape? A plant cell's vacuole helps give the plant firmness and shape. Well, that's a fact.
Right.
The water stored in a plant cell vacuoles helps give it rigidity and shape. We know that's a fact. Vacuoles help give a plant cell firmness and shape. This is a fact. Plants take in water from soil through the roots. Well, we know that plants do that. Cell walls cannot maintain, well, they take in water elsewhere also. They take it in through the roots, but actually raindrops on those leaves. They can absorb it that way as well. Cell walls cannot maintain a plant's shape and rigidity when the plant lacks water. Well, that's a conclusion we can draw. So if I click there, this is a correct answer. So just kind of have to go through the process. What kind of conclusion? What can I interpret based on that? If I pour water on that plant, it's going to have rigidity. It's going to grow. That's the type of interpretation that they're talking about making. And I know that one was a little tough. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. I'm not.
Okay.
And I would tell you, just go back through and review some of these quizzes that you've taken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And let's go. I'm gonna go start on the next one, which is number 2, cell process.
Okay.
And we're gonna check, see how you did there, responses. And like I said, do not get upset or discouraged. You can always go back through and take this. Now see, this was not bad. This is not bad at all. You didn't do too bad here.
Right.
But we break it down. This was all about photosynthesis.
Yeah.
This is all about photosynthesis. And one of the things I think I may have posted that video, but what's going to help you is this: before you even look at these, quizzes, go back and do this. I'm gonna go into our classroom and go into this classroom. Yeah, I'm gonna go into the classroom, and you are Saturday, so here we go. And if I go into classwork, there's always some resources, supplementary material with that classwork. So I'm gonna go back to that quiz 2. That features a lot of supplementary material. Here it is right here. The quiz 2, cell processes and energy. So this right here is what we call resource material, photosynthesis and cellular respiration. This is its resource material. If I click here, click on it, and you'll see all this resource material. Photosynthesis, there's some notes. There's also videos on cellular respiration and photosynthesis. So you have an idea. Some people haven't heard of cellular respiration, but cellular respiration is kind of what we do. We know a plant goes through photosynthesis where it takes in sunlight, water, nutrients from the ground, and it turns that nutrients and that water and that sunlight and also carbon dioxide that we breathe out. And it gives us oxygen that we breathe in. So we have a relationship with that plant. And you ever heard people say, hug a tree? What they mean by hug a tree is giving us oxygen, and in return, we give that tree carbon dioxide, which that tree is able to turn it into energy, or that plant's able to turn it into energy called glucose, which is sugar, and they're able to feed themselves. That's why we call we call plants that are able to feed themselves producers. An apple tree is a producer. Okay, it produces in 2 ways. It is able to feed itself and is able to feed us. So just watch some of these little videos. Okay, I'm going to pull one up right now and look for the resource material that's connected to every one of these activities. Okay, most of them are about maybe 3 to 5 minutes, no longer than that. I don't grab anything, and it kind of explains photosynthesis. Okay, let me come out of here now.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop the share right here so I can come out of here, and then I'm gonna go back in. Okay. Okay, where are we at? I'll go back in here, I've got to come out. And there's other resource material as well. Like I said, this is the process of photosynthesis. The process of photosynthesis on the a sheet. It gives you the entire process. You can read over it, kind of like a diagram. And Let me back up out of here. And I have this supplementary material for every quiz. For every quiz. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I will tell you, anytime you go into any of these assignments, look for the supplementary material. Okay, we're going to look at quiz number 4 under that link. Let's look for quiz 1. We did 2 and 3, 1 and 2, and I think we're looking at 3 now. Quiz 3 under, okay, human body. I've had one person take this one. That's Amaya. She took that one. She was at 100%. But what you'll need to do is go back and take this one as well. And when you do, again, look for that supplementary material that I have out there. It's always a good thing to get that supplementary material to help you. If we go back under life science here, I've got all kinds of material. This is quiz right here, but under that life science, the human body systems, you'll notice all these resources. We should be able to find the nervous system. Here's more. Okay. There's the nervous system, digestive system, the respiratory system, and the circulatory system. Now we pull the form itself, the actual quiz itself. It talks about all these systems in the quiz. So when you read material, look for all the resources to help you out. Look for all the resources to help you out. In that first question, which human body systems interacts with cells, with each cell of the body? Which system? Well, I can already know that off the bat. That's a circulatory system because it runs the blood through. So it interacts with every system in the body. Clear the selection. Well, you need to pass in these quizzes. Okay. You have any questions so far?
What was that, lesson 3? Okay, lesson 3. I don't remember getting that one. Could you resend that one to me?
Quiz 3, it's out there. It's already on the site. Quiz 3 is already out there. Let me go back into the classroom.
Okay.
Okay, this is quiz 3 right here. Quiz 3, life science. Okay, you can go right out there and pull it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to another one. I'm gonna just keep it moving. I'm gonna go to another one. Right here first. Okay, number 4. This is up under life science. Let me ask you, did you get all of the packets that were out there? The science packets?
No, I didn't receive any science. But come out from the library?
Okay, yeah, you could have picked them up at the library, all of the science packets. If not, you have access to them here as well. Okay.
Okay. So I have to go to the classroom to get access to this.
I can actually,
Okay.
I can actually email you those science packets now to make sure you
Please, yes, please.
Sure, just a moment. I'm gonna go back out here and make sure you get every one of them. Okay. KDR Miss Fountain. Back up. Else we got to see. science packets. It's math. One. Let's see, that's, I think we have all of them right here. The structures and functions. There's another one. Okay. That's attaching. Oh, no, we already have that. There are 4 of them, so I'm putting these last 2 in.
Okay.
Scientific comprehension. And the last one that I'm looking at should be the environment. So just a second, I'll pop that one in. Here it is. Right? Okay. Okay, now you've got all 4 science packets.
Okay, great.
Now, I'm gonna, and the latest, I'm just checking through all these viable scores that you have out here. I'm gonna go back to here, and I'm gonna look at 4, number 4. Life Science 4. Okay, that's she knocked that one out. Okay, let's go back. This one you have to work on also. But with those 4 science packets, you'll know which packet goes with which quiz. The quiz are the same thing as the packet. Sometimes the packets give you a little bit more in depth, but you can highlight and underline and annotate on those packets. So when you get ready to take the quiz, you're ready. Now I'm going to go back here. And number 5, I'm going to take a quick look at that. So it looks like it may be 3 through. Okay. This group you can pick up, and there are also some. Hold on just a second. Let's go ahead and pick up the other ones. Okay. That was 4. I'm looking for 5 now. Life science. I've had 3 responses to 5. Not bad. You didn't do a bad job on 5. You didn't do a bad job on 5. And this one, let me take a look at some of these questions. I have a feeling, yeah, for reproduction and heredity. There's something on here that's called the Punnett Square. And I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna have to give you a little bit of let you watch the video on that. I'll be doing it again on Saturday, showing people how it only takes about 10 minutes to learn, but I don't have my board behind me, but I'm gonna have, I'm gonna see if I can pull up a whiteboard and give you an idea. Okay, just a second. I'm gonna see if I can pull up a whiteboard. We can take a look.
Okay.
In some of the supplementary material. Because if you get this, if you can get a Punnett Square right, that's an extra one you have in your back pocket. And they're fairly simple. I'm gonna stop sharing just for a moment because I'm gonna pull up a whiteboard.
Okay. Here.
I'm not gonna be able to write on this thing. Hello. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to write on this thing. I was looking for the whiteboard. Okay, let's go to file. Okay. Here we are. Here's my whiteboard. Okay, here we go. Okay, can you see me? Okay. All right, I'm gonna grab write with this thing, try to write with this thing. Okay, what I'm producing is a Punnett Square. And a Punnett Square, okay, let's try this again. Okay. I'm trying to draw, okay, we're gonna draw some lines. I'll do a straight line. Okay, and I'm gonna draw another straight line. Okay, now, ask you a question. Do you have any children? Do you have children?
Yes.
The reason I ask is because a Punnett square is like a hereditary square. We can determine with a Punnett square what your children are going to look like. Whether they're going to have blue eyes, brown eyes, okay, or have color of skin, the whole 9 yards. And we can predict that with a Punnett square. So, and whether it's going to be recessive genes or dominant genes, but let's just say here, let's say a capital T. Let's see, I need the text. Let's go with text. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say that a capital T will equal, okay, blue eye color. So capital T is blue eye color. And we're going to go here again. I'm going to say a small t is going to equal to, let's say, brown eyes. Okay. So this t being a capital T is blue and the small t equals brown eyes. But really that T, that big T stands for, dominant gene, a dominant gene for blue eyes. And this right here, the small t, is a recessive gene for blue eyes. So what we try to predict is this child going to have blue eyes or brown eyes? If to have blue eyes, they're going to have those big T's. To have brown eyes, the small T's. So I'm going to go to the top of this, and I'm going to work this out. So I'm going to put up at the top a big T. Okay. Over here, I'm going to put a small t. And over here, I'm going to put a small t. And over here, I'm going to put another small t. Okay, now what we're going to try to do is just predict whether this child's going to have brown eyes or blue eyes. Well, we have to line them up together. So the big T will always be first because it's the dominant gene. The big T will always come first because it's the dominant gene. And what does the big T stand for?
Blue. The
Okay.
dominant gene.
Blue what? Remember, we're talking about eye color.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're talking about eye color. So the big T will determine if that kid has blue eyes. The small t will determine if he has brown eyes. The big T being a dominant gene, and the small t being a recessive gene. Well, children inherit these genes from their parents. So when we get ready to put our stuff inside the square, a big T and a little t. Remember, the big T will always go first, so that's going to be like this: big T and a small t. Now I'm going to put my t's inside of here. So I got big T, little t. So I've got to look at this t right here and this t right here. So I'm going to end up putting two small t's there because they're two small t's. Okay, now I'm going to look at this t and this t. I'm going to look at this t and this t. Remember, what always comes first? The big T. So, and the small t comes next. So I'm going to put a little small t there. Now, the last one I have I got a t here and I got a t here. These are two little t's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put my two little t's right here. Now, this is what I'm looking at. We know that the dominant gene for blue eyes is going to be a big T. The recessive gene for brown eyes is going to be a little t. So we look at this. I can predict by looking at this whether this person will have brown or blue eyes. Okay. When I look at this block, that's a dominant. So I know he's got one dominant gene. So the dominant gene tells me he's going to have what? Blue eyes. So I look over here. I got two small t's. These small t's tell me he's going to have brown eyes. But when I get here, I got a big T and a little t. So that big T is dominant and that small t is recessive. So, I think to myself, blue eyes. But when I get back to here, I got two little t's again. So I said that to say, what does all this mean? It's a 50-50 chance he's going to have a brown or blue eyes.
Right.
So, that's just how it works. Let's say if I had this instead. I'm going to erase this real quick. Let's say I'm going to change this up a little and change these up a little bit. I'm going to end up putting a big T here. And I'm going to put a big T here. And I'm going to put a little t here. Now we get to look at this in different terms. I got a big T and I got a big T. So guess what's going to go in this block?
Two big T's.
Two big T's. Fantastic. You're doing great. I got a big T and a big T here. So guess what's going to go in this block?
Two big T's.
Two big T's. Okay. Now I go to here. I got a big T and I got a little t. What's going in this box?
A big one and a small one.
Got a big one and a small one. Big T, little t. Now, at the end, I look at this. I got a big T and a little t. So what's going to go in this box?
A big T and a small T.
Big T, small t. So I put those in. Now let's look at this. Okay, how many dominant genes do we have here?
Two.
How many dominant?
Four.
Four. So what are the chances that this kid is going to have blue eyes?
100%.
Exactly. You just learned how to do that in less than 5 minutes.
Okay, now that you broke it down, I understand it a lot better.
Okay, now, what I would tell you to do with this right now is watch the videos. Watch the video. This is easy to do. Now, this is where it gets a little scary. Now, I'm gonna pull up a sheet, and it's gonna get real scary because there's something else that you got to worry about. Not only having dominant genes and recessive genes with that big T and the little t, they got something called heterozygous and homozygous. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, and that's easy to remember as well. Heterozygous. Heterozygous. Hetero means different. Hetero means different. And I'm going to put a definition here for you. It means different. Just means different. Okay? So heterozygous means different. Now they got something else they call homozygous. Homozygous simply means the same. Got it? Heterozygous means different. Homozygous means the same. Heterozygous means different. Homozygous means the same. Now the key is to put these things together. We got to put these terms together. Heterozygous means what?
Hetero means different.
And homo means hetero means different, homo means the same. So this is how we got to put this together. Okay, when I see heterozygous, which is different, how I recognize that is when I see a big T and a small t. So guess what homozygous is going to look like? Big T and a big T, or it can look like a small t, and a small t. So heterozygous is going to be a big T and a small t because they're different. They're different. You got a big T and a small t. Homozygous, you got, which means the same, you'll have two big T's or two small t's.
Okay.
Now, let's see if we can work this thing out. Heterozygous means what?
Different.
Exactly. Homozygous means what?
Same.
The same. So when I'm looking at these, are two big T's, are they the same?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I say two big T's, are they the same?
Yes.
Two small t's, are they the same?
Yes.
Okay, you're on your way to learning genetics. You're doing great. You're doing fantastic. Now, let's put all of this stuff together. This way, it gets a little tough. And we're going to start to look at some scenarios. So keep this in mind. You got these notes down? Keep this in mind. Okay, I'm going to put a big T here, and I'm going to put a big T here. And I'm going to put a little t here. And I'm going to put another big T about here. So let me move this T out a little bit. I'm going to get my eraser out. I'm going to put a T, a bigger, put my little T way out here so we can see it. So I'm going to put a little T right here. Okay, now we got all this stuff going on over here. We got all this stuff going on over here. But we got to interpret some stuff. So I'm going to put the T in the box, and we're going to interpret it. Okay, I've got a big T and a little t, and I got a big T here and a little t here, and I've got two big T's, and I've got two big T's. Okay, this is how we interpret this. When I see a big T and a little t, that tells me this is heterozygous different because it's a little t. Heterozygous different. What do you think we're going to call this one?
The homozygous.
Huh? When you see
Homozygous.
no, the big T.
Oh
and
no, the heterozygous.
Heterozygous.
Wow.
Heterozygous, and then we got to add another little term to it. Heterozygous. It's just heterozygous. Okay. Now, this right here is what?
Heterozygous.
The two big T's.
Because it has the two big. Oh no, it's the homozygous.
Homozygous. Now, what do we see here? The two big T's.
Homozygous.
Homozygous. Okay. Now, I'm gonna share one last thing with you because you just have to practice it and practice it and practice it. Once you start to practice this, you're gonna get
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Now, heterozygous different. There's homozygous the same.
Mm-hmm.
But with heterozygous the same, this is how, with those two big T's, that tell me it's also dominant because those big T's, you remember we talked about this over here? The big T's are dominant, the small.
Right.
Now, this right here is homozygous, but it's homozygous what?
Dominant. Recessive.
Recessive. So I'm going to put homozygous right here. So there's a lot going on. So when I look at this and I start to put this stuff together, big T, blue eye, little t, brown eye. Big T's are always dominant. Small t's are always recessive. Heterozygous means different. Homozygous means the
Yes,
same. But if I look at them like this tells me this is homozygous dominant. Homozygous, they're the same, and it's also dominant because they have big T's. This is also homozygous,
right.
not dominant. They're recessive because you got little T's. So when learning this, I would tell you watch the videos and just practice. Now I've got a sheet, and I'm gonna show you exactly how you'd see this on a GED test. So bear with me for a moment. Bear with me for a moment.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to see if I can pull up that prep test. Okay.
Yes, sir. What happened?
Okay.
What happened?
I'm gonna stop sharing here for just a second. I'm gonna share my screen again, and we're gonna go to the go to one of the tests themselves, or one of the practices. I'm gonna share this screen back. Like I said, this one's gonna get a little tough. I've got it. Okay, here we go. Let's go to our classwork, and we're gonna come out of here. I wasn't trying to go there. I'm trying to go there. I gotta go back in here. Okay. Okay. Life sciences. This is where I want to be. Last work. Okay, and go up here. You gotta find that. Okay, reproduction of Punnett squares. Okay, genetics. Okay, reproduction and heredity. Punnett squares. Okay, let's see. Next material. I think this is it right here. This may be it right here. This is an actual these sheets. Okay. These are the actual practice sheets. Now, from what you just seen, does this kind of make any sense now? Now that you're looking at it, looking at this sheet.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's read it. We're going to read this across. Okay. For each of the genotypes. Now, we call these genotypes the big A's, big A, little a, or little a, little a. We call them genotypes. Genotypes. Okay. But it tells us if it's homozygous. The two big A's would tell us this is homozygous dominant. A big A and a little a would tell me that's heterozygous. And these two little a's would tell me this is heterozygous recessive. Make sense? Let's take a look at it again. For each of these genotypes, and these are just genotypes, I showed you with T's. These are A's. Letters don't make a difference. Still going to be the same thing. Right. Okay, let's look at our notes. If I got that double A, two big A's, what does that tell me if I got two big A's? Is it hetero or homo? Hetero means different, homo means same.
It's homo.
Exactly. Now, is it dominant or recessive?
Dominant.
Fantastic. Let's go to the next one. Big A, little a. Is it homo or hetero?
It is hetero because it's different.
There you go. Fantastic. Now, on this last one, is this small a's? Are they homo or hetero?
They are homo because they're the same, exactly. But they're recessive.
Hey, you get a thumbs up. Nice job on that. Nice job on that. So now we're going to start to look at these phenotypes. We call them phenotypes. Now, let's look at the two big P's. These are these two big P's. Now, what are they? What are they? Look at them.
They are hetero, not hetero, but homo, and they are dominant.
Fantastic. How about the big P and the little p?
They are hetero, and they're dominant.
Fantastic. Now let's look at these two little small p's.
They are homo and they are recessive.
Fantastic. That's all you got to keep in your mind. When you see this, you got this. You got this. Okay.
Right.
So we're going to scroll down a little bit because this is just a repeat of the same thing. These right here just keep you going. Just keep you going. That's why I would say work on this worksheet. Now, this is the crazy part. This is the crazy part. Okay, we're looking at this right here. We're looking at this right here, and it says in dogs, the gene for fur color has 2 alleles. Allele is nothing but a gene. We just talked about genes. It has 2 genes. Okay. The dominant allele is a big F. The dominant allele is a big F. We always know that the letters, if they're a capital, they're the dominant. It's the big F. That big F is also a code for what?
You said the little F?
Yeah, the big F is also a code for gray fur.
Oh, uh-huh.
Big F, gray fur. Let's go ahead and write that down because you're going to have to keep this in your head. Big F is for gray fur.
Okay. F for gray. And
The big F
gray
is
fur.
gray fur.
Okay.
And the recessive allele is a little f. And what's the little f for, if you can see this?
Black fur.
Black fur. So the big F is for what?
Fur.
Okay.
Black fur.
Okay, and the little f is for?
Black fur.
Okay, we're good to go. Now, we're about to fill in this first Punnett square. We're about to look at this first Punnett square. So it reads like this. The female dog is heterozygous. What does hetero mean?
Different.
Different. So if it's different, it's going to at least be a big F and a what?
Mm-hmm.
It's at least going to be a big F and a little F. So at the top, well, this is what they're telling us. This is how we got to fill this box in. Okay. I wish I could write on this thing, but it won't let me. Oh no, it might. Let me see if I can write on it. I cannot write on it. They don't let me write on it. But okay. This right here, I want to let me copy and paste. Yeah, I can copy it. Okay, and I'm gonna see if I can bring it to the whiteboard again. So just bear with me here. I'm gonna see if I can, well, let's try it right here. I'm just gonna try it right here. Okay, it says the female dog is heterozygous. Female dog is heterozygous. The male dog is homozygous, recessive. So the female dog, if it's heterozygous and we say it's different, well, the female dog is going to be a big F and a little f. So in these two holes, we're going to put big F, little f. Big F, little f. Now down the side here, it says the male dog is homozygous recessive. So what does that tell us?
It's going to be 2.
Yeah, 2 what?
Little f.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now we're going to draw this on the board. I'm going to go back to the board so we can draw it. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm going to go back to this board. We're going to draw that. Remember, big F, little f, and 2 little f down. We're going to the whiteboard. Okay, I'm going to come back to this whiteboard and I'm going to erase this stuff off. And we're going to change some things up. Okay, so the blue, I'm going to change some things up. Homozygous, let's see. Okay, and instead of this right here, this is going to be for fur color. So I think my memory is pretty good. So it's going to be fur color. We're looking at fur color. Okay, the dominant. So the first fur color. So we're going to, the big F is for gray. The big F is for gray. So my big F is for gray. And my little F is for, what's the little F for? Black. Okay, the big F for gray, the little F for black, and it's all about fur color here. So when we read that, it told us that the female was heterozygous. So I had a big F, and I'm going to put a little F here. Okay, and it said the black fur was recessive. He was homozygous recessive. So we're going to put a little F and another little F here. Homozygous recessive, two little F's. Now, we're going to determine whether this dog is going to end up with gray fur or black fur. Okay, let's start to fill in the holes. Okay, what does this first block get?
So the first block is going to get a big F and a small F.
Fantastic, great, you're doing fantastic. Okay, let's take a look at the second block. What is it going to get? What are we going to put in that second block?
It's going to get two small F's.
Two small F's, great, great. Now, what about this next block? This next block.
A big F and a small F. So yeah, because I go up and down there.
Okay, F and a little F. Great. You're moving real well now. In this last block, what are we going to get to fill in this last block? Small F's. Good. Okay. Now we got to determine whether this dog is going to have black fur or gray fur. What are the chances that this dog is going to have black fur? Just looking at it.
I think it's a 50% chance.
Bingo, you got it. You just did your first genetic Punnett Square. You got it.
Mm-hmm.
You just did your first genetic Punnett Square. So what I would tell you now is what you got to do is go back, look at the videos, and practice this, because this is so you got to practice. You did a fantastic job of putting all this together. Okay, and basically, that's all I had to share tonight about genetics. Now, this is what you got to do as far as moving forward in the future, and I'm gonna pull some of the activities that you're gonna have to work on. I know you're gonna have to do 7 and 8. I know you're gonna have to do 7 and 8. Those, but I would tune in Saturday, because another component is doing, you're going to have to learn how to do balanced chemical equations. That may sound like a knot, but just like I taught you how to do this in about 10 minutes, I can teach you how to do that in about 10 minutes. So this sheet, what I want to do is practice, 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 practice. Watch the videos, practice. Watch the videos, practice. Because once you get it down, you're going to be a gene machine.
Right.
So I'm leaving you tonight with, with this, just to get caught up, and look at some of this material, understanding Punnett squares. The language is some people get tripped up on the language with homogeneous and heterogeneous.
Right.
All you got to remember is this: hetero is different, homo is the same. If I got two big T's, I got a homo. If I got a big T and a little t, I got something that's different. And those other words that you're dealing with, like not homozygous or heterozygous, but when you got to deal with those genotypes and phenotypes, the G, don't get caught up
Yes.
on, don't get caught up on that. That phenotype just means that they're like homozygous, which is the same recessive, a homozygous dominant.
Okay. Okay.
As long as you know how to read them, make sure you go back over this.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. No, sir. I'm ready to get back into my notes and go over it again because I'm excited now. Just explain it to me. I feel like I can do it.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely gonna do it. So go back over those Punnett squares, all the material, look at the videos, you cannot go wrong.
Right.
If you tune in on Saturday, we'll be working on chemical equations.
I'll be there Saturday.
Okay. I will send you the link to tune in on Saturday. I don't know if I've sent it to you yet. In fact, let me
No, sir. I haven't received it.
okay, what I'm gonna do is get the Zoom link and I'm gonna send it to you to tune in on Saturday. Just a second and I'll get that for you.
Okay.
Okay,
And also, you said I can go into the classroom to also look at the stuff too, right?
yes, definitely. I've got all of it linked together, all this stuff linked together on Punnett Squares, where you're gonna see the practice sheets and the videos. Okay, just a moment. I'm gonna have to go out here and make sure I can send you this link, email this link to you. So let me stop.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop sharing for just a moment, and I'm gonna find the link. It's linked to Zoom. It is difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to do this when you know you're out there. You're just looking at the worksheets, and what we try to do is try to add a little context to the worksheets. So
Right.
I'm looking. Okay, here we go. Microsoft Edge. Yeah, I'm seeing one more time because what I'm doing is showing you exactly this. You'll be able to get it.
Yes,
go. And okay. Okay, I'm sending this out to you now.
Okay.
Okay, you got it.
I just received it.
So you should be good to go.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you on Saturday.
Okay, I'll see you Saturday then. Take care, Kirsney.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay.